Hello, it's Vicky from Free From Limits. I might have a little bit of wet on the screen today because I am out walking the dog and it is raining. I did actually start the video with my dog, but then found that I couldn't turn the screen around once I started recording that way, which is kind of weird. I don't know why. It seems like there's some sort of flaw there, but anyway. I wanted to show you her. I will just... No, I can't do it. No, it's impossible. Okay, I wanted to show her to you really because she's a great example of living in the moment, of living with what's right in front of you rather than living with what is going on in your mind, in your head, what thoughts are telling you. She just lives reacting to what's right there in front of her. So if we come across a squirrel or a cat, she's likely to go completely bonkers, and then 2 or 3 minutes later she will be completely chilled again. And she's just an example really, and any animal is an example. Oh, she's pulling, she's found something, of what it is to live right now in this moment, just responding to whatever arises. And we all have that ability, but we've just forgotten that we have that, and instead we live in our thoughts, trying to figure out how we would react to something or what we're going to do about something that isn't even here right now. And that's like a very challenging way to live, and a stressful way to live, because we're living in an imagined world rather than the actual world. And what you find is that when you're actually living right here now, that always, and I'd love you to have a look for yourself, that always you know what to do in every moment. So if you've ever had an accident or an emergency or something's gone wrong, in that very moment I would suggest you've known what to do. But if you tried to think about what you might do in advance of it, you probably wouldn't have been able to work that out. So I just wanted to start with that, and it kind of leads on to the question I wanted to answer, which I get asked so many times, which is, how can I be peaceful and happy all the time? And my response to that is, you can't be. And stop trying to be, because, and that might sound really, really negative and you might turn off now, but please don't, because this is really something that's worth looking at. So I would offer up that your natural state, i.e. the state that you were when you were born, if you like, your default setting, without all the beliefs and ideas and conditioning and thoughts and everything else on top, is innately peaceful, is innately content. And now you'll have had moments of that when you're doing something that you love, and you're just engrossed in that thing, and there's no thoughts, there's no distractions, you're really present. So it's talking, we're back to that present thing again. There's a sense of peace, and you may not have noticed it, and it's worth just becoming more aware of that, bringing awareness to those moments when time just disappears, when you're not aware of what's going on around you. So I would offer up that is your default state, that is what you are, until thoughts come along that get paid attention to. And then something different happens, and your experience is not of peace and happiness and contentment. Good morning. So the thing that we get confused about is that there's this desire to be that all the time. I want to be happy, I want to be peaceful all the time. And well, if you look at a toddler or a young child, you'll see that they experience every emotion. They experience all feelings. They experience, like, yeah, absolutely every emotion, feeling, sensation, they have it. So they might be having a tantrum one moment, completely screaming, it's the end of the world. 5 minutes later, they are laughing, or then they could be crying, and then they could be shouting, they could be angry, it could be, but what you see is this flow through them. There's no resistance. There's just like, there's this sensation that arises in the body. There's a reaction to it, a bit like I was saying about squirrels for my dog. You know, she hates squirrels. She sees a squirrel, she reacts to the squirrel. It's automatic. She doesn't have any additional judgment about that. She doesn't think, as far as I know, I shouldn't have done that. I'm a bad dog. I should never have barked. I should know more. I should know better. Why did I get frustrated? Why did I get angry with a squirrel because they're not hurting? You know, she doesn't. She just reacts to it, and then she's back to her default kind of peaceful setting. And then something else might come into her awareness. She reacts to that, and then she goes back. But there's no resistance to whatever is kind of presenting itself, if you like. And what happens with us is that thoughts come through our system, if you like, come through our awareness. And we either try to resist them, we don't like them, we try to change them, we try to ignore them. There's all sorts of trying things happening. But actually what I would suggest to you is that if there's just an allowing, like it just comes through without resistance, just, okay, that's here. Now the thing that you notice is that then it's not here. It's like a visitor that passes through the physical form. So then the only thing that wants peace and happiness all the time is the mind, is this idea that you know, we've kind of all picked up this idea that that's what we should have, that that's what's to be aspired to, that we need to be that all the time. And without that idea, I'd love you to just consider what if you didn't have this idea, I guess is all it is, belief that happiness and peace is what you must have. If you didn't have that, then what would happen? And I would suggest that if there was something other than that present, it would be fine, because there would be no idea that it wasn't fine. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there because it's getting long and I'm rambling, I'm getting wet. And I'll probably have to pick up some dog poo in a minute. She's looking for somewhere to go. There we go. So if you've got any questions or disagreements, or would like to have a chat about any of this, then do leave me a comment, and I will see you again soon. Bye.